Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another plant video. We are talking about winter care today. I've been asked what my winter care is about 100,000 times now. It's fall, we're coming up on winter, we're coming up in the dark, gloomy, sad days with no light, and the plants are gonna start getting sad and frozen. We don't like those days. We really don't. Fall is actually my favorite time of the year because I live in Houston and it actually doesn't really get super cold here. Our winters, probably we drop below 30, like maybe 3 times. Our winter doesn't really start until like mid-January, if I'm being honest. So my care tips are definitely going to be different for those of you guys that are in the north. But if you're in the south, or if you just want to watch this video because you find me entertaining, go ahead and keep watching because I have some tips for you. So the first tip, and I'm sure this is the tip that everybody and their mother is going to be giving, is grow lights. You need grow lights. You definitely need grow lights. A lot of people can get away with just keeping their plants on their windows, but if you have succulents or if you have Hoyas, if you have any type of plant that requires a whole lot more light, I definitely recommend investing in some grow lights. I don't think that it necessarily needs to be a super expensive grow light. I don't think the grow lights that are over $100 are really worth that much. I know that the grow light topic is very confusing. It's very debated. There are some people that say one thing, other people that say the other thing. I'm just talking about my experience. So please, if you are a grow light scientist or if you feel like you are an expert in grow lights, please just take my advice with a grain of salt. I'm sure you already know. Or if you have any other suggestions for grow lights, definitely leave them in the comments down below. So my house actually has like solar filters on all of the windows to prevent too much light from coming in and like heating the house up in the summer. It's supposed to be energy saving, but in the winter, my house is dark. Like, it's dark. And it really does affect my plants. I've actually only really had one real solid winter with all of my plants, and grow lights have definitely got them through it. I've been on a plant ban for like 3 months, so I'm not investing too much money into grow lights. I am pretty much just buying what is recommended by most people, and that is actually just like having a full spectrum LED. I don't recommend this one specifically, but if you have a full spectrum LED with a lot of lumens, I believe that that should be okay for you to use. Some people say that lumens aren't actually the thing that you want to look for. Other people say that it's like another fancy scientific thing, but for me, these have worked fine. Like, it doesn't really have to get too complicated. My plants have been totally okay, and it's fine. They're fine. I've always used these cheap purple Amazon grow lights in this room just because it's like, it was cheap, you know? I just buy the cheap stuff. I'm a cheapskate. I don't have that much money. I'm in college. I'm not spending too much. I would not recommend buying these super cheap, like, clip-on. I'm going to put a picture of them here. I hated those grow lights. I know so many people really like them, but they break super easily if you move them. The little like gooseneck doesn't work very well. These are fine. These have worked just okay. Like, it's really not that much of a problem, but the other ones, I do not like them, would not recommend. I've tried so many grow lights. I also have recently purchased these grow lights here. They're pretty nice. I like them. They don't stick onto wicker, which is a problem for me, but the actual like light that it gives off is pretty nice, and I think that it would benefit your plants a lot. But I pretty much recommend just buying like an LED full spectrum bulb and some sort of like wire to connect that bulb to. It's really not that difficult, and it's really not that expensive. I really, again, don't recommend buying like super expensive grow lights unless you want them for aesthetic reasons. But other than that, I think that you will be okay this winter, especially if you live in the south. We don't get super crazy winters out here. The number one grow light that I like to use is actually just like a garage light bulb, and my plants react to it very, very well. Some of them have even gotten super stressed because it's been too close to it. And then I also have a grow light that's in my grow tent, and that's the one that's super expensive. I really only recommend those expensive grow lights for grow tents specifically, just because they fit well, they provide the right amount of light for your plant, but pretty much the placement of your lights is really what matters. You want to be able to actually have them within a good amount of room from the light, otherwise the light is just scattering everywhere and not actually doing anything for your plant. So that's pretty much my number one tip. If you're in Houston, our humidity does kind of fluctuate a little bit during the winter, but it fluctuates nowhere near the amount that it fluctuates in other parts of the country or other parts of the world. I would still recommend investing in a humidifier, but again, it doesn't have to be a super expensive humidifier. I actually have a humidifier review on my channel if you want to watch it. I still stand by that. I do know that there are lots better options out there now. There are so many more top fill humidifiers, but in my personal opinion, I haven't used humidifiers enough to really try and invest in more, just because I do live in Houston. My climate is pretty nice. And then the last question that I'm going to answer in this video is, when do you bring in your outdoor plants inside? For Houston, we really do not drop into the 30s super often, and I really think that you only really have to bring in your plants if you know there's going to be a freeze. A lot of people say that if it's below 50 for like a consistent amount of time, you should also be bringing your plants in, and I agree. If it's below 50 and your plants are out there, it's not a good idea to keep them outside if it's constantly going to be 50. But in Houston, it's really only 50 at night, and then it comes back up during the day, and the plants are fine. But people are right when they say that it only takes one freeze to kill your plant. But again, it's a freeze, like into the 30s, like below 30. I don't think you have to really be a super helicopter mom when it comes to your plants that are outside. Just because they are outside, they're pretty much always vulnerable to the elements. So I think that they have like a better immune system, I guess you could say, to things like that, just as long as it's not actually freezing. No frost, that's bad. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, go ahead and hit the like button down below, and if you like me or you like plant videos, go ahead and subscribe if you want to. But that's gonna be it for today's video, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye!